Alright, here's the old Dodge. It was spray painted with single stage acrylic urethane. And basically, that's what it looked like. Inside, single stage, just kind of blended inside the door. I don't think that these got painted. That's probably original. Might have some overspray on it. But basically, I scuff sanded it with the Scotch-Brite. Fixed a few of the little runs that were in there, and we are going to spray with some clear and see whether this clear. I've tried to use this clear once before and it didn't come out, so we'll see if this clear is any good, and we'll post it up on YouTube. Alright, this is my two products. This stuff gets 2 thumbs up. Epoxy primer sealer with the hardener. I've used it, works really good. We're going to use that to squirt that little bare spot. We're just going to shoot that black. Nobody going to look underneath there or care that that's got a squirt of black. And then we're going to use the SpeedoKote Clear, which did not work wet on wet. I sprayed the Mustang with the red here, single stage, and I thought that I'd make it super shiny by spray painting that on there, and it all sagged and hazed out. So the goal now is just to paint over this single stage paint that's been on here for like 5 or 6 years. It looks like crap. I could actually probably just buff this out to a super shine again, but I want to test the clear, so we're going to spray the clear on there and see what happens. Alright, that's what I got. My mass strainer. Had to make some cardboard mixing sticks, a couple Harbor Freight things, measuring cups, 2 of them, 1 for each. Got the truck all taped up. Not as good as I'd like it to be, but it's good enough, maybe. So we're going to cover this with the clear and see how it comes out. Test this clear. I got a run right there that I kind of blew out. I had fish eyes from the hood, which is not the paint's fault. So I had to load up the hood. See these little fish eyes in there? Those little spots? There was hundreds of them. It wouldn't clear. So I had to load up on the paint. So I got a few sags. That's pretty good. I got a couple right there, a couple right there. It'd be easy sand out. That's a little cloudy because I ran out of paint. I was trying to reshoot this, but again, I'll just have to buff that out. This side came out pretty good. Everything looks pretty glossy. I don't see any runs yet, but that's what happened when I left the first car I painted wet on wet, and it looked like this. It looked good. And then I came back and it had just run and sagged everywhere. I was just like, oh my goodness. So here's the spot that I painted over black. It looks pretty crappy, but you know, from this angle, nobody, well, you can see it, but better than nothing. Just kind of hazed out because I kept real shooting, so I'm going to have to buff that out. And back to this side, I had some problems in this same spot, so I'm going to have to sand those, couple runs. That's my original runs. It's not in the clear, but see, I had a problem shooting over that area. It's like every area that was a problem area had problems, but I painted the roof first and I loaded it up. It's a little chalky because of the overspray, but nobody's ever going to get up there and look. So there we go. That's DIY, do it yourself, maybe. I can see that run really bad, but we'll fix that, no big deal. There we go. In a couple hours we'll peel all the tape off. 1,000 and 2,000, so that's 2,000 sand right there. That looks pretty horrible. And I had these runs on the front here. That's the only 4 little runs I could see, so we're gonna polish those up. We got a little, our thing here, sorry about the shadows. We got our turtle wax polishing compound. I mean, it seems to do its job. I want some better stuff, but it was 30 bucks, so I'm just gonna use this old stuff I have. Yeah, maybe I should have videotaped that polishing, but you just run that machine over these spots with that compound and almost goes away. I can see a haze. That compound I got's not very good compound. I actually did this spot here. You can see the runs right there where my finger is. These almost just completely disappeared, but you know, it's making some swirl marks on there. This, you can see the where it hasn't polished out enough, compounded, polished right there and there, so you could hit those a little better. But I can see it right in this area where I need to polish it some more. But that polish, you know, that's why I didn't want to use it. But anyway, the runs are gone, and once that gets washed a couple times, nobody's gonna see it. So basically, this side's a little hazy, which I'm surprised because that side looked the best. But this side looked like crap, so I resprayed it. The only problem is the original runs are under the paint, which makes it look kind of crappy, but it's nice and shiny. So that's all anybody gonna care about, you know, 10-footer. I went through and I got the overspray off all these spots. I got it off the door. This is medium cut. I was afraid to go with the super cut. This is number 7. The heavy cut's the 12, and then they have a number 3 or 4. I was going to go back and get the number 3 or 4 to cut this again, because you can see light haze on here compared to where it hasn't been touched, where the paint was just let's see if I can focus. This is pretty much paint with no cut. You can see my thing there, and then this is where it has that number 1 polish, and it seems like it's hard to get off. I don't know if I need to get something that makes it look hazy. This was pretty rough, so I got that off pretty good. And I see some haze right here that I would get off. These areas were real bad. They look pretty good now. That haze is because of the stuff, I'm pretty sure, but that's why I want to get the one to get the haze out. These were pretty bad, the runs. So look like I'm getting swirl marks from just wiping it off. So we're gonna try to polish it a little better. See, this here is one that hasn't really been touched. And then I went through and I did this whole section because it was really rough and scratchy. But it looks pretty good now. I know it looks hazy in this picture, but it's not really very hazy. This door pillar was super rough, and you can see where it just hasn't really polished, but most of it has polished pretty good. Like right here, you can see where it's still scratched up the thing, but that other polish will get it out. I had the super runs. Ew, the super runs right there. I had them along this, so they're all gone. There you go. That's a good thing where you can still see the cut. So I want to get that other polisher and polish that. I don't want to keep cutting it down with that compound. So we'll fix that, but man, that's for almost a 20-year-old truck, man. That's just painted some clear over the, pretty good. haze that you're seeing on there is just the wax. It's not dried, wiped off good. I used medium cut, which is about the same as those two are about the same. And I used number 9. So I used this and it actually worked just as good or better than that with the blue pad. I was using this with the orange pad. I used that with the blue pad, the polishing, and then I used the swirl remover, number 9, with the blue pad, and then I had no wax, so I used this old wax, some old stuff. I wanted to use this liquid wax, but it was empty, so oh well, just use what you have sometimes. Automotive surface sealant. And that's how it turned out. It's got a haze on it because I need to re-wipe, but I'm going to let it dry overnight, re-wipe it off. So, good to go.